Hi guys, third time is a charm, right? So this is my third video of today. Today is March 15th. I am 27 weeks and 6 days. I'll be 28 weeks on tomorrow. Um, this is a venting video. Earlier on my first video, if you made it through, because it was almost 30 minutes. Sorry, that's what happens when you spend so much time at you know skip so many weeks making a video, because then your brain is all over the place and you have so much you want to say and probably don't even complete your thoughts. But anyway, I did mention, oh wait, before I say this, so I saw my first video. Y'all, I need Botox. Seriously. Look at this. Anyway, I mentioned on my first video from today, not my very first video, my first video from today, that should have uploaded today, March 15th. I mentioned about not really making videos and just going through some personal things, and after I did the video, I spent the day just trying to think about how to actually verbalize my feelings and what I'm going through, because in all actuality, I really haven't been talking about it. I mean, I mentioned some things on the video earlier, but I think I'm just emotional, and to be honest with you, pardon me if I cry on this video. All I know there are several forms of depression, and I wonder a little bit now. I haven't looked it up, nor do I care to. I wonder if I fall into any spectrum of depression. So the things I've been emotional about, just the pain. I mean, just being in constant pain will kind of keep you in a funk. I feel like, most of the time I'm alone with my kids, I feel like I'm just too tired to do anything. Which now, that could be from the low iron. I don't know. I do press on, because these kids don't understand I'm pregnant, or I'm tired, or I don't feel like it, or, I'm in pain. So I do press on. Lately, even though I feel so blessed to be pregnant, I guess this will be a gender reveal because I'm about to spoil it. I am very emotional about having a boy. And I know it is so silly, but one day it hit me. I have to think about some things I never thought about before, and it just hurts my heart. Obviously, with boys, you have to consider circumcision. I've spoken to my husband, and it's not an option, which is fine. I don't know anything about being a boy and what it's like to be a boy, so of course, whatever he decides, I'm gonna go along with. But my whole thing is, I understand, I guess, the reasons for the circumcision. I should have been a hippie though, really. Meaning I'm just so like, oh, let's be natural, let's be free. My first thought about the circumcision is my C-section will be scheduled. It's not like I go into labor and they know they're doing a C-section. It's usually a scheduled C-section. So you're gonna rip this kid from my loins, and then, so many hours later, you're gonna take him into surgery and, rip his skin off of his private parts. And everybody says, oh, as soon as you stop, they forget the pain and they don't even remember. But it just sounds so barbaric. And, moms of boys, I don't know if you went through that same aching heart where you just considered the pain that your child would be going through. So anyway, I have, that thinking about that makes me emotional. Also, like, I'm all over the place here, but also I just think I'm at a point in my life where I realize that there's a reason and a season for everyone in your life, and the people that you cross paths with doesn't necessarily mean they're forever. And, when you grow apart from someone and your life changes or things change to keep you in another person or friendship or relationship from being what it was, that's one thing. But I think, it's just being a grown-up, it's just being an adult. I think that when you consciously make the effort to prune, meaning you look at your life, you think about who's important and who you need to separate yourself from, and you consciously make the effort to say or act on not having that person in your life, it's emotional, because sometimes these relationships are, significant people in your lives, people you've shared significant time or memories with, but, unfortunately, not everyone in your life is meant to be forever. So, that's a part of my emotions. And then the other huge part probably of my emotion, not probably, this is a huge part of why I'm emotional, is actually leaving my job. God, it was so emotional. And I think I'm actually scared. This is a big deal. Stay-at-home mom to 3. I'm good at what I do. I'm a dental hygienist. I'm good at that. I excel at being a dental hygienist. And now I'm about to do something that I've never done before. Sure, I've spent some time at home not working and only had one child at that time. But, now it's, I'm going to be home with 3 kids, juggling 3 kids, who needs to be where, and not so much just the kids, just the home in itself. So, I know this sounds really crazy, but I am afraid of failing at it, or not so much failing, but not being good at it. I have some of the most exceptional friends, a lot of them made in a mom's group that I joined when I was only mom to 1. And I tell you, they make this stay-at-home thing look so easy. And so, as a working parent, I worked part-time and was home part-time. And to be honest, the way it has worked is, for the past 3 years, I've worked 3 days a week, and I've been home 4. So I guess really I am home more, but I don't know. I just had my job to break things up, but working, I guess I never considered myself really full-time stay-at-home mom, even though I was actually home more than I worked. But I'm just really emotional about that. Fortunately for me, I have been a hygienist since 2007, and I have, you name the office, I've worked at it. And for the last 3 years, I've actually worked in public health, and which is a community clinic where we basically treat 95% of the underserved. So my job has been very rewarding. It's not that posh or foo-foo private practice that you walk in. So it's, for me, anyway, my personal experience, it's just less stress. I can, unfortunately, in dentistry, as a patient, you probably wouldn't see it, but I mean, there's a lot of cells and other things involved when you work in a private practice or a chain, in one of those chains. But working in public health, I literally do on a day-to-day basis what I was trained to do. That's it. To educate, to inform, and to provide a service. And to be able to do it, and those patients are just so thankful. I don't know, it's just been rewarding. So it's really been difficult and emotional just to let it go. And really today is my first official day not working. But it's 2 weeks ago when I had my appointment with the perinatologist and saw that I could be getting close to not bed rest but lightening my load. I just didn't want to leave them in a bind and decided to leave then. So anyway, I think the things I've mentioned in this video is really a part of why I've been emotional, why I haven't really been keeping up with my weekly video. I mean, honestly, physically, over these past few weeks, I think I would say the same thing week after week. Emotionally, I've just felt burdened, just with emotions. Nothing bad, just I'm pregnant. So it's nothing bad, like, oh, I'm going through something that's just so horrible. It's just, like I said, a plethora of different things that make me feel emotional. I'm a really emotional creature. But I think the biggest thing is if I will be good at, when you're promoted on a job, you want to do well. It's a blessing to be able to stay home with my babies, but, I'm just scared, and I want to do well, and just, a lot going on in my mind. So anywho, maybe now that I've said that, I will feel better. I told you, if you watched my earlier videos, that I just keep it real. I watch different vlogs and videos, and I want to be like this person and I want to be like that person, but I can't. I can only be me. Um, Man, it's some good vloggers out there, by the way. But anyway, this is just me being me, just on a rant about my emotions. You know, I hope that by me being real and candid, I've said something to make someone feel like, oh my God, I am normal. You know, because certainly that's what vlogs do for me. I'll watch a vlog and someone will say something, and I'm like, oh, okay then, I'm normal. Oh, okay, I'm not the only one that thought this or felt that. So, just keeping it real for you, and holding our sisterhood down, and just hoping that I touched on something that blessed someone and made you feel like, excuse me, you're not the only one that's going through something. I appreciate the ear. I appreciate you listening if you made it to the end of this video. Now that I am not working, hopefully I will be able to do, you know, hopefully it's not 10 weeks before my next video, because if that's the case, I'll be holding a baby at the next video, okay? So, anywho, thanks for listening. Today I saw my OB-GYN for my 3-hour glucose test. Tomorrow I will see my perinatologist. We get sonos at each of those visits. He'll be evaluating my uterus tomorrow and the thickness of my uterus. I was going to tell you something. Oh, yeah. Looks like I took off my job just so I could have time to go to these appointments. My first official day off, and I spent it at the doctor, and then my second official day off, and not day off, but they not working, I guess. I don't know what you call it. My second, you know, I'll go back to the doctor. So at any rate, thanks for listening. Comment, email. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following my journey. To be continued. Be blessed.